Welcome back to Good Morning Kenya. This is Entertainment Thursday. Remember, you can find us at KBC Channel 1 TV. That's on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Next up is a very talented young man coming up with a new EP by the name Ochiko. Karibu sana kwa studio.
Shukran, sir.
First and foremost, government name? Andrew.
Andrew.
Let's talk about Ochiko.
Ochiko. Ochiko is a Luo word. Ochiko means number 9.
Number 9.
Actually, guys say it Ochiko, but it's supposed to be Ochiko.
Ochiko.
Ikonaka, some.
Where am I supposed to put the emphasis?
The I.
The I. Ochiko. Am I doing it right?
You learn over time. But it comes from its spiritual significance. Number 9 means coming to completion. So yeah, when I needed to start releasing music, I had to really pick something that speaks to me, and Ochiko fit.
Now let's talk about your journey as you're heading towards the completion. Towards Ochiko. Yeah, nice. When did you get into music?
As a singer, as a commercial singer, we are 2 years in. 2 years in. As a songwriter, 5. Yeah.
Songwriting?
Songwriting. I've been songwriting for a couple of artists in Nairobi and Mombasa for the last 4-5 years. So yeah, so I decided to start releasing music 2 years ago. Yeah, and I hadn't decided yet. Yeah. Yeah, 2020, that's when I decided it's time to actually start putting out work.
Is there a particular artist that you saw and you felt like they resonate with you?
Yeah. Yeah.
So which artist in particular?
In Kenya, a couple. There's a guy called Isaac Kimani. Lisa Odor, Sauti Soul. So yeah, all of these guys. Yeah.
And as a fan, I'm speaking as a fan of yours because your sound is quite interesting. That's the word I would use because I like what you do with your lower registers.
Yeah.
Speaking as a producer myself, and instead of talking about it, I feel like we should sample your songs kidogo tu. And you brought a guitar.
And I brought a guitar.
If you may.
Yeah. Kila kitu ni kungoja, watu wanasema lakini wezidi songa. Wendo unajua, furaha utavuna. Baby, keep on fighting for what you love. In the middle of the night when it's dark and it's hard and you can't even stand. Oh boy, the pain that comes and you can't even smile. The struggles, the pain, milima na mabonde the same. Oh, I remember why you started, yeah. Remember why you got into the game. Oh, the struggles, the pain, milima na mabonde the same. Oh, I remember why you started. Remember why you got into the game. Zidi kusonga, Maulana tukuacha. Songa. Zidi kusonga, Maulana tokuacha. Songa.
I was getting into the vibe, Ukacha. Okay, we'll have some more music. I'm sure the people back at home,
I want to hear more.
They're anticipating for more, just like I am. Let's talk about the EP. There's an EP that you did coming recently.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
So when are we expecting it?
20th of September, on Tuesday. We have 5 days to go.
5 days to go. 20th of September.
20th of September.
Which is coincidentally my birthday as well. Is there a birthday song?
Say no more. I got you covered.
Let's talk about creating that EP. What went into it in terms of, the thought process and the writing? Because you started as a songwriter.
Yeah, I started as a songwriter. In the simplest of words, I can say this EP was written in deep character development.
Please say more. Nini ilifanyika?
I've been staying in Mombasa for a while, for the last 4 years. So I decided to move back, So when I decided to move back, this is 6-7 months ago. decide to move back, and we are here, and you meet these people, and you actually think there's something here. Apparently, there wasn't.
Wow.
Yeah. So at that moment, when it hit me, when the actual character development happened, it hit me hard, because I think, looking back in hindsight, I was really, really invested. I was very invested, and my mindset was like, this is long term, but it wasn't. So when it happened, I just got lost in my emotions, and I had to start writing, because I had to find a way of how I could talk about it. Yeah.
And so, am I right to say the EP is more like a love story?
Yeah, it's called Wadhera, which means journey of love. Yeah. So
are you mixing vernacular with English and Swahili? Incorporating it?
In the EP, we'll have to wait and see.
What do you mean? You have to give us some more info.
There's a lot of fusion.
Yeah, a lot of fusion. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, let's leave it at that.
Okay, you're working with a producer we were actually having a conversation earlier on. Let's talk about that in terms of developing yourself as an artist, because you're 2 years in as a professional artist, for 7 years in as a songwriter. So in terms of the production, what challenges did you face?
Challenges that I faced, I can't really. This one time, it all fit.
What do you mean?
It all fit. You know, like in this very moment when we were working on Journey of Love, the people who worked on it, we met at a time where we all wanted to work on something that is this big. So it was very easy for us to incorporate what we are doing and just come together and work on the project. So when I approached Kamunge Original to executive produce the whole project, they were, yes, let's do it. Let's invest. Let's get into this, because the vision is the same, you see. But maybe one of the struggles that I might have gotten over doing this is the fact that of understanding how big an EP is. You know, most of the time we just think they're songs, but the amount of investment that has to be done to put out the work, the marketing, the marketing side of it, you know, making sure that the crowd and the listeners are actually getting wind of the music that is coming. That was, yeah.
A lot of artists that I've talked to have told me, in terms of the marketing, that's where probably we're falling short. That's where,
because like from a point of maybe someone else who is established or has means, there are agencies which, you know, are at hand if you have the capacity to get them. And these guys you just commission them, and they do the whole PR side of it, from YouTube to Instagram to social media to stations. So an artist who is not yet there or does not know how to navigate to these places at a struggle.
Now let's talk about being there. What's there for you? What's the goal for Ochiko when you envision yourself like 10 years from now?
10 years from now, first of all, the definition of good music has to be Ochiko. Yeah, has to be Ochiko. Like when you want to define a good Kenyan act, Ochiko. When there's an international show, an international something that is happening, and they need a Kenyan act,
they have to call Ochiko.
Yeah, Ochiko has to be, even if they can't reach me, but that's the first thought. Yeah.
Kuna Kenya umesema that is very interesting, and in terms of sound ya Kenya. Kuna watu wanasema it's like we're stuck in terms of the sound. And for you to progress, especially as an alternative, you know, right now Afrobeat and R&B is like an alternative in terms of Kenyan music. So have you thought of a strategy to bypass that in terms of the sound?
You know what I can say about that is it takes a village to really, really do what we want to do, you know. And right now, I can very confidently say, give us the next 2 years. Give us the next 2 years. I'll touch the next 2 years, just next year, 2023. Before the end of it, you will see, because I can name like 10 to 15 artists who are very, very invested in a sound that is ours, is not borrowed, is not, it's ours. But the thing is this, we were having this conversation a while back, and we were saying that do you feel that we need a name for that music? regardless of what it is, because
that's what I'm saying.
Someone was arguing that in it's TZ, they call it bongo, but the beat they're using is Afropop.
It's actually more like reggaeton. It's a mixture of different things, yeah.
But the fact that it has a name, it can be there.
And what makes it bongo? Is it them singing in that Swahili twang? And what makes gengeton gengeton?
I think it's choice of words also, and the generation.
Speaking
because
of good
there
music,
was, because like there was a Kapuka age. Now there's gengeton.
Yeah,
you see, and like even in South Africa there was Kwaito, there was all this,
and now there's Amapiano.
Now there's Amapiano. There was Sokos in Congo. Right now there's Lingala. There's all this. It evolves. Always it evolves. It's just that we do not have that one name, because it's a good thing that Kenyan artists have been diverse from a very early age. When we had Zilizopendwa, Pendwa, we had someone rapping somewhere hidden somewhere, So yeah, but very slowly we are defining it. We do not have a word yet, but we are redefining it in a very beautiful way.
But I think what you said is actually quite precise in terms of the direction of the Kenyan music industry.
Yeah.
Let's not define it and box it into a genre and say this genre is Kenyan. Yeah, because I think it confines us as artists. That's very, very true.
Yeah.
Speaking of artistry, I want to do something special.
Okay.
An intermission.
Okay.
With music. As we continue with the interview.
Okay.
Do you have another song for us?
Yes. Wimbo ni mingi.
Tafadhali.
No. Tangu uje kwangu roisambu, nafsi yangu imezama kwa utamu, kweli umenifanyia mateso, penzi lako kama upepo, umenibeba ukaniweza, kweli mateso, umenibeba umeniweza, kama upepo, kweli mateso, you give me a million reasons, and I got a million reasons. You give me a million. Ndo maana ninasema penzi umeniweza weza, ninasema penzi umenibeba, ninasema penzi umeniweza. I got a million reasons. You give me a million reasons, yeah. Mapenzi kibao nitakupa chukua macho yangu we ni superstar, akiwa laimi ukumbuka vile vitu we ulinifanyia, kimpenzi uliniacha kwa njaa ya kukuona mara kadhaa. One more time girl, I wanna see you smile. You give me a million reasons, and I got a million reasons. Ndo maana ninasema penzi umeniweza weza, ninasema penzi umenibeba beba, ninasema penzi umeniweza. I got a million reasons. You give me a million reasons. Yes,
Awesome stuff. That is Ochiko. The EP is coming through on the 20th of September.
Tuesday, yeah.
Yeah, it'll be on a Tuesday.
To be on Tuesday.
So we're there to have a birthday. But anyway, Ochiko is coming through with the EP. There's a lot of good music coming through.
Amazing.
And it is like a love letter.
It is a love letter.
It is a love letter.
Yeah.
Is it about that one specific lady or?
No. When do you think you're an expressive man emotionally?
I don't think I am.
Yeah, so men, we don't get to empathize so much with ourselves. So when that one song that birthed the EP happened, it just opened a whole floodgate of all emotions that I was pushing on the side.
Do you feel like music allows you as an artist to express yourself the way a man normally wouldn't?
Yes, I wouldn't ever talk about the things I've talked about on that EP in person. But now that it's music, I was like, okay, I can slide and just talk about it.
It's quite interesting that you say that, because many artists, especially the new artists, that, I won't try to mention any genres here, but you feel there's too much vibrato within the industry.
Within the industry and the music.
And it's like that's what's fueling the Kenyan industry at the moment. And the expressive artists, whether male or female, they're not really getting that spotlight.
And I think that's what I'm telling you. I think there's a movement which is really coming in, because there's one thing I realized about music. When you spoon feed people enough, they will consume it. At first they will not agree, but eventually when it's consistent over time, the perspective changes.
The perspective changes.
Because now they'll be like, oh, it's not a one-time thing. It's constant. It's happening every day. Yeah. And something that I'm going through, he's actually talking about it. So why am I not listening? Let me listen. You start consuming subconsciously. Yeah.
Because I remember when I was coming up, in terms of Sauti Sol, one of the people you just mentioned earlier, people are going to say, mangoma za madem.
Mangoma za madem.
You get me?
Yeah. Yeah.
So vile imefika point umepatia hiyo acceptance.
Yeah.
I get what you mean in terms of, giving a slow momentum, but we're getting there. You really have to give it to. I think us as Kenyans, we really want to see something which is happening consistently, so that we can fully consume it. It's not even just music. Anything that you are selling to a Kenyan, I'll buy it today. Tomorrow, if you want to retain me as a customer, it has to be as good or even better. So yeah. And any collaborations?
Coming. Wow, you want me to mention names?
Okay, let's make it easy for you. Drop a name that I'll be like.
Ethan Muziki, Brandy Minor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's an interesting collabo.
Yeah.
Are you going to give us a snippet of it?
No.
Why not?
No. EP.
Coming on the 20th.
Coming on the 20th.
Where will it be available, by the way? Because in terms of delivery these days, it's so so different. In terms of I grew up in the ends of mixtapes. People handing out mixtapes, selling them as a CD. Hard copies. It evolved to kwenda kwa cyber with a USB and buying your music. And then it went to online sites, specific ones, where you can get that track that you want, and now it's just everywhere.
It's just everywhere.
So,
the music will be available on all streaming platforms, and it will also be available on YouTube.
On YouTube.
Yeah.
Let me ask you about that, since we are on that topic of music delivery and revenue generation as an artist. Do you feel like the internet age is making it harder for an artist to make money?
No, I don't think so.
Is it easier?
I actually think it is easier. Because, when it was more physical sales, it really means that you really had to be able to reach these people physically to be able to get this product to them. Now, because when we say streaming platforms, think about it like sugar. There's a manufacturer, and then it's taken to supermarkets. Now it's accessible. Because imagine if it was just being sold in some certain factory, and it's sugar that all Kenyans want. It would be a problem to be able to access it, But now that we have stores, we can really put the music out there. Number two, we can distribute our music to an audience that we didn't think we could reach, mostly overseas or even just outside Kenya. You can reach the rest of Africa in a way that you couldn't reach kitambo. Now because spaces like Spotify and the rest of the streaming platforms, they open you up to playlists which are the same as the music you're doing, but different countries. So the listener gets to experience different taste of the same music from elsewhere, you know. So you really get to get the sales, because now those same guys are the same ones who are going to buy the exclusives, you know, because some of these songs are they're being bought on, say, Apple Music and Audiomack and all this, you know. They're not free, they're at a price. So when people consume them, it's very easy, and internet has made it easy for people to know you. You know, the fact that everyone is constantly on the phone, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, is constantly making sure if you really have, when it's your time, it's your time. No one is coming and gatekeeping.
You just mentioned TikTok, and I find it, okay, this is just my opinion, but I find it quite disruptive in terms of artists trying to be artists, because now it's just looking for that smash viral hit, something people can, you know.
That's the problem. Because, you know, making the music is effortless, because you have done it so many times, it's muscle memory. TikTok came a few years ago. You've not worked on it to a point that it's muscle memory and you know how, because if it's social media, there is an algorithm. There is a method. And if you do not understand that method consistently, you'll always keep on, you know, looking for that one hit. There's a cheat code. There's a cheat code. And
I like the way you put it, an artist who's not really an artist can make it big. Leaving all these artists who are, you know, putting in their work and all this effort.
There's an algorithm. So, you know, sometimes when you're looking for that one hit, it is not necessarily the one hit that really makes, you know, because how many artists do we know who have done major hits and they didn't go past where we thought they would? But a song that we didn't think would make it, because there's a method, makes it.
In terms of the cheat code, do you feel like Kenya has an upper hand, or is it just for, you know, Western countries?
Not only Western countries. I recently interacted with a gig, with a certain gig, and the type of marketing they did, oh my God. They actually could, you know, like pinpoint, this is the crowd you want. And on the actual day, they could show you, this is the crowd you wanted, this is the crowd we have right now, you know. So there are means of doing it. You just need to be able to access these people, access these spaces.
And access that information. Awesome stuff. Thank you so much for coming through, Ochiko.
Shukran.
Before you leave, you know your voice. You have to give us another ballad. I know the people back at home watching and enjoying the cup of coffee, porridge or tea. They're like, Mike, acha kuongea, acha msaimbe. Sasa, but before you start singing, as you prepare, where can we find you and where can we tunaweza enda kwa website gani tukungojene hiyo EP?
On all social media platforms, Ochiko. 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 Awesome. On all streaming platforms, on YouTube, on Facebook, across. If you need to contact me, my contacts are on my Facebook and Instagram pages. So,
Yes, vile umesikia Ochiko on all social media platforms, and we are at KBC Channel 1 TV. That's on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. If you just missed the interview, repeat utaipata up on YouTube. This is Ochiko.
Leo ni siku nitakayokiri niseme kuwa ni wewe leo. Dunia mzima ijue, picha ziseme kuwa sitangoja tena. Moyo umesema kuwa ni wewe. Sitangoja tena. Moyo umesema ni wewe. I choose you. Nimechagua kupendwa na kudekezwa. I choose you. chagua tena na tena, juu nimekupenda. I choose you. I choose you. Safari yetu mabondeni tumepanda, hadi sasa tuko kileleni.